Hi, hello, I am Lottie, aka Sneezy Ferret, and today we're talking about the digital ID card because of course we bloody are. It hasn't gone away, Starmer's still kind of for it, so let's talk more about it. So, back when Starmer decided to first bring this up during a press conference for the UK-India trade deal, he made some interesting comments. He praised Estonia and India for their own rollouts of digital ID. And there's a little ferret in the background here. Did you sneeze or fart? Which one? I hope it was sneezing.
One of the things on digital ID that I do think we need to emphasise and make the case for, frankly, is the great benefits of digital ID. You can see from Estonia the speed with which people can access services that are available to them, which have been transformational, and there's great enthusiasm in Estonia for it. Here in India, I think it's 1 billion people have digital ID. It's been taken up on a voluntary basis in huge numbers, not least because it means that you can access your own money, make payments so much more easily than is available with others.
Well, how good was Estonia and India rolling these out? Well, the answer to that one is probably one you can guess, which is not very good. So let's start with Estonia, shall we? Well, type in Estonia digital ID breach. What do you get? Well, in late 2017, Estonia experienced a major security flaw in its digital ID cards, where the encryption was found to be easily cracked. This led to a temporary lockdown of online services and a mandate for all citizens to update their cards by March 2018. Separately, in late 2020, a series of cyber attacks breached 3 government ministries, compromising over 350 gigabytes of data, including sensitive information on infectious diseases and 4 official use-only documents. And that last attack is what we're going to be discussing, mainly because I found the best article in the world. So this was published on Estonia, and it was written by Florian Marcus, who is a speaker of the Estonian government. So it's published back in 2021, so it's not the newest of things, but I love the title of it because it is "Nothing is Unhackable." What a brilliant title to inspire confidence in your populace. So it reads, as part of my presentations about the advantages of digital services in Estonia, questions about cybersecurity pop up very often, as they should. Is my data safe online? I wish the answer was an unambiguous yes. But the more honest proposition is that nothing is unhackable. Paper files can be edited, replaced, copied and destroyed forever, and on a fundamental level the same is valid for digital formats. Recently, Estonia was reminded of this undeniable truth. He's correct. Nothing is 100% secure, so it's not a good idea to put all your eggs in one basket, put all your information in one place, so if someone does manage to get in, they can have everything. No, better to spread it out a little bit. Anyway, what happened? Well, on the 1st of December 2020, the Estonian Information System Authority, so the RIA, announced that 3 government ministries had reported cybersecurity incidents in November, which resulted in significant breaches of personal data and other records. The 3 attacks bore similar signatures and exploited similar weaknesses in the web server infrastructure. 350 gigabytes worth of data were lifted from authorities. Data regarding the containment of infectious diseases, which affected 9,158 people, public records, and mostly expired for official use only and restricted documents. I'm kind of a bit funny about that because what do they mean by mostly expired? Because unless somebody's died, their information is still kind of relevant. It doesn't go out of date. It's a bit like saying that because the passport was expired, it's no longer relevant. Of course, that passport is still relevant. The person's still alive, and yeah, just because it expired doesn't mean the person did. 1 second, sorry. Coughing. There are indications that the tactics and procedures for the breach are by no means novel, and indeed freely available software was used to accomplish this. So this wasn't some amazing new program, new hacking method that nobody could have foresaw. No, this was software that was already available, and I'll be perfectly honest, the people building the security software for these sites probably should have been aware of it. But they weren't. The National Criminal Police has initiated an investigation regarding unlawful access to the computer systems, as they should. Cyber attacks are a serious crime. Arguably, however, so is criminal negligence. Yeah, I like that point because criminal negligence is right. If a company demands your information and puts it at risk, doesn't secure in proper ways, should they be held criminally negligent for that? I reckon yes. which is why I would love to see our own government, both parties, held criminally negligent for all of the different breaches of information they've had for years, but I've seen none of that. Anyway, suppose the investigation report concludes that some specialists in the ministry demonstrably failed to fulfill their duties and keep the safeguards of these databases up to date. In that case, there must be consequences to maintain the trustworthiness and international standing of the Estonian e-government system. Losing 350 gigabytes of government data, no matter how old or public, is not akin to dropping a plate in a restaurant and keeping your job as a waiter anyway. What a weird analogy, but okay. Silver linings, because apparently there are always silver linings, even though your data has been breached. We learn stuff, because government always learns from their mistakes, don't they? With all of this being said, there are plenty of good takeaways as well. First of all, RIA has continued to be proactive and transparent about the state of digital affairs in Estonia. Yeah, we lost your information, but we told you about it. Whether we're talking about the current case or the theoretical weakness in some of our ID card chips in 2017, I believe that open communication helps retain the trust of the public and also gives us the tools to discuss how to improve the situation. Yeah, because if I'm going to betray you more than once, if I tell you about it, forgive me, because I'm trustworthy, right? It's a bit like a treating spouse. In connection with this, Estonia government institutions are known for their timely dissemination of those facts. So it's not just we told you about it, but we told you about it quickly. Great. The ministries reported the incidents in November and the press conference was held on the 1st of December. It's quick, is it? It doesn't say what date in November, but okay. I mean, yeah, whatever. Most governments try to bury such unpleasant news for as long as possible. Actually, that's not quite correct. Most governments don't even find out about those breaches until it's way too late. Oh, in the UK, we know about all these breaches. We've got our own Wikipedia page. It's brilliant. According to IBM, in 2020, the average time to both identify and contain a breach was 280 days. The SolarWinds breach that affected US government authorities and private sector companies alike first took place in March and the issue is still not resolved. Yeah, that I don't like. It's not good. Anyway. The Estonia Health and Welfare Information Systems Centre, TEHIC, meanwhile were able to block the hackers' access within 8 hours of discovering the attack. To me, that is remarkable, and also a testament both to the safeguards built into the system and the cybersecurity specialists working in the public sector. Right. And then we go on to our usual stuff that we're all used to hearing from government. We will learn a lot from this incident, and it helps us to be better in the future. It's the lessons learned, we won't do it again. Yeah. Let's see what India's been up to. India. What have you been doing? So, personal data of 1 billion Indians sold online for £6, report claims. Now, I will say that the government has rejected this and said that either it's not as bad as they're making out or it didn't happen. I'm not sure. This is from The Guardian. Newspaper says it bought access to details from the world's largest biometric database used to administer public services. The personal information of more than 1 billion Indians stored in the world's largest biometric database can be bought online for less than £6, according to an investigation by an Indian newspaper. The reported breach is the latest in a series of alleged leaks from the Aadhaar database, which has been collecting the photographs, thumbprints, retina scans and other identifying details of every Indian citizen. The report in the Chandigarh-based Tribune newspaper claimed that software is also being sold online that can generate fake Aadhaar cards, an identity document that is required to access a growing number of government services, including free meals and subsidised grain. The Unique Identification Authority of India, UDAI, which administers the Aadhaar system, says it appears the newspaper had accessed only limited details through a search facility that had been made available to government officials. It said it would seek to press charges against those who had misused the system, but stressed that no thumbprints or retina scans had been made available. Well, that's all right then. So long as they only have every other part of information about me, but they don't have my eye scans, I'm fine. Whatever. Mere display of demographic information cannot be misused without biometrics, it said in a statement. Claims of bypassing or duping the Aadhaar enrolment system are totally unfounded. Aadhaar data is fully safe and secure and has robust, uncompromised security. Yeah, all right. The newspaper reports that anonymous people in WhatsApp groups were charging 500 rupees or £5.82 for the details of an account that allowed access to information from the Aadhaar database. This included a person's name, home, email addresses, photographs and phone numbers. The newspaper claimed that it purchased a code and was able to gain access to the information, as well as to the software that permits users to print fake Aadhaar cards. The government could not independently verify the report. More than 200 government websites were revealed in November to have published the Aadhaar numbers of citizens, along with the names, addresses and bank details. Udai said that in that case the information had been, and I quote, inadvertently published by other government departments and was removed as soon as the breach became apparent. So this one didn't even take a major cyber attack from the bestest group in the world. It was just government idiocy. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Well done. They published it themselves. Aadhaar workers had spent the last 4 years traversing India, taking the names and photographs and scanning the eyeballs and thumbs of more than 1 billion people. The government says the database will bring vast numbers of Indians into the digital economy, allowing direct access to social programs in a country where one study has estimated 84% of welfare funds are lost to intermediaries. But critics argue that the benefits of Aadhaar are overblown and that such an enormous and potentially lucrative database can never be fully secured. Activists also blame glitches in the rollout of the scheme for the death by starvation, of at least 2 people who were unable to access rations, a welfare program that now requires Aadhaar authentication. In August, the Supreme Court ruled that privacy was a fundamental right guaranteed by the Indian Constitution, a decision legal analysts predict could leave parts of the Aadhaar program vulnerable to legal change. So, yeah, not great. Now, there's also a Wikipedia page for data breaches in India, because of course there's multiple. I mean, there's different bank data breaches, more Aadhaar data breaches, Yeah. So what did we learn? We learned that in trying to convince every Briton that this is a really good idea, he decided to use the examples of India and Estonia, where the rollout of the digital ID has been overshadowed by its own cyber leaks and incompetent security. Well done. Have a nice day, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.